So today, guys, I'm bringing you guys some electric DPS. Now, the first thing I want to say, electricity is really, really, really broken. It's honestly always been broken, and it's a top meta power. Now, honestly, what really makes it so broken is the circuit breaker. It's the circuit breaker. It literally increases your damages on all your abilities, and also has a small cooldown, and it gives you immunity. And it's clippable, meaning you can clip an ability into it. So it's just like all around broken. But when you combine the circuit breaker with the new iconics, the blue lantern, the white lantern, and then the sunstone, the bat swarm, all these new iconics, you combine that with the circuit breaker, it's really powerful. So essentially, the whole point of being electricity is mainly to take advantage of that supercharge. And like, a lot of people get upset because they see that I'm using iconics, and I just got to tell, for the people that are saying that, that's the new meta now. That's the meta. That's the thing that's doing the most damage. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to. But I'm using it in my videos because it's the thing that does the most damage. And I want to show people the most effective loadout so that they can maximize their damage. As you guys can see, like, with through these attacks, you guys can go back. You'll see, like, when I hit the circuit breaker and then I hit an attack, it does an insane amount of damage. We're talking about millions, or 900k to 2, 3, 4 million damage. It's insane. I am still using Omega for electricity currently. And yeah, you definitely want to get Lasso. You definitely want to get Bat Swarm and Sunstone. You combine that with the Circuit Breaker, and you're going to do tons of damage. The rotation is fairly simple. You usually want to charge up your Omega, then hit a move into Circuit Breaker, and then use your Omega, and then use Luminous Beam. That's like a really powerful rotation that you can do insane amount of damage with. But I'm going to explain the loadouts and alternatives for people that don't want to use Iconics or don't have them. I'm going to give you guys some alternatives after this little clip. But I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. If you guys have any questions, you guys can always join into my streams, join my Discord. Again, I am selling the Iconics, the Lasso, the Batstorm, and the Sunstone. You guys can always contact me if you're interested in buying them. Watch the gameplay. Without further ado, you already know how to use the rotation. But I'm going to give you guys some alternatives if you guys do not have these Iconics. And I'm going to go through the arts and the allies. Let's first go through the arts. So for arts, for AoE, I'm using Candle, Omega, Trans, Soul Cloak, and Book. If you don't have one of these, you can swap into Nestor Ring or Ebon. But these are the ones that I think are the best for electric. But you can use Ebon or Sinestro Ring or even EOG for AoE. The only reason why I want to use EOG for AoE is because things die too fast. But these are the 3 that you could use, but these are the 5 that I personally use for Elec. Now for allies, these are kind of across the board: Superboy, Starfire, and the Flash. And then for the loadout, this is the loadout that I'm using. Now, if you don't have the iconic abilities, you can put in Arc Lightning in there, and then you can put in Shockwave. Those are some of the alternatives that you can use. You can use Voltic Blast, and then you can use Shockwave. The rotation would be fairly similar to the normal one. You would use Arc Lightning, and then you would use Voltic Blast, and then you would use Shockwave. So you basically go 1, 2, and then spam Voltic Blast. And then your second loadout, which you can do, is you can take out Spore Pod. You can put in Magma. If you don't have Magma, then you can just simply put in Tesla Ball in there if you wanted to. And you can just go 1, 2, 3, swap over Arc Lightning, Voltic Blast, Shockwave, Shockwave, and then Omega. Now, obviously, I've said this a million times, and I'm going to say it again. The Iconics are very powerful. If you don't have Nemesis Lasso, you're missing out. I will put a little gameplay on the screen for you guys. It's honestly just really broken. Sunstone, when you pop Circuit Breaker and then you hit Sunstone, it's very, very powerful. Same thing with Bat Swarm. Either one, they're really good. Bat Swarm, I would suggest it for AoE ads, and then Sunstone, I would suggest it for boss fights. Now, on this character, I don't have Bat Swarm, so that's why I have it on my AoE. But, I mean, Sunstone is really good for AoE too. The only reason why I say Sunstorm for the boss fights, more importantly, is because it has a 12 seconds of damage ticking. And if you're in a good group, ads usually won't even survive that long. So that's why Sunstone usually it's more beneficial on boss fights. And that's pretty much it. You can, for Luminous Beam, if you wanted to take that out, you could just put it in Robot Sidekick. But this would be kind of a loadout that you could use that doesn't really have too many iconics. And you can put in Neo Venom instead of Sunstone if you don't have it. You can take off Lasso if you wanted to. And you can either put on a shield in there, or you can even put on a healing ability just so you can use it as a clip. So you see how I clip, and it makes the animation faster. This is a trick that a lot of people don't know, and it also allows you, if you take like a slight second in between, it allows you to charge your Omega faster. You see how boom, boom. I'm literally charging my Omega faster by doing this, and then boom, it's ready. So that's a little trick that you can do, which is literally just spam this electric move, because every time you see how it's charging the Omega, even though I'm not doing any damage. So that's a little trick that you can do if you guys don't have Iconics. Now, if you have Iconics, I would recommend just use this loadout, because it just does so much damage. It does so much damage. You should just use this loadout. But that's the AoE for the single target. I don't want to rant too much. For the single target, it's basically the same thing. The only difference is I use Arc Lightning. You can use Empowering Pulse, but the reason why I don't is because Empowering Pulse you have to be close, and I don't want to have to rely on being close. Some raids you can't be close. That's why I don't really use it. You can put Empowering Pulse if you have it, or you can put in Tesla Blast if you want to in there, or you can put in Shockwave, but you're primarily spamming Hope Wave and Starbolt because these two do great damage and they also give you Supercharge. And that's pretty much it. The skill points, it's super powered, and then damage, and then might and power. That's pretty much the whole rundown.